Airlines will not hike fares amid the pile of grounded Boeing 737 MAX planes hours after India joined the wave of countries to ban the 737. The aviation regulator says that operators have agreed to not indulge in predatory pricing. The regulator will also set up a special cell to monitor complaints due to disruption of several flights. But the trouble in the skies is beyond the Boeing MAX ban. Jet Airways has grounded about 40% of its fleet after failing to pay their lenders. SpiceJet will pull out about 12 Boeing 737 MAX planes from service, and Indigo is battling a shortage of skilled pilots. The changing aviation landscape is what we are putting the spotlight on at ET now.
This kind of situation, all the airlines have always pitched in as far as the fares are concerned. So what we have requested and Secretary has requested them is that fare they should be kept at roughly the same level as it was there before this one. Of course, from today itself and tomorrow onwards, DGCA will be monitoring how the fare movement is there, and wherever there will be need, we will be in touch with and we will talk to the airlines. We have also taken a notum that no aircraft should overfly or come to India or fly outside. So that notum has till 4 that was there. So everybody, even with the international players, they had enough time to adjust to that.
In fact, yesterday evening, there was a meeting held between the Aviation Ministry, the key stakeholders there, and DGCA, and of course, they had spoken about what will be the plan going forward. Let's listen into this conversation.
We discussed as to how this grounding of aircraft should not inconvenience the passengers, so that the cancellation of flights should not affect the passengers. So the airlines have assured us that they will be trying to increase the utilization of the existing aircraft which are eligible to fly, and see to it that enough number of flights are there so that the passengers are not put to any kind of hardship.
So how have the airlines promised to keep up with the passenger flow and to raise their number of flights, and also how will they ensure that it will not take a toll on prices and there won't be unfair price surges?
Well, we have told them very clearly, and they have also assured us, and the DGCA will be monitoring it. In fact, the DGCA has a special cell which will keep on monitoring wherever these cancellations have taken place, and if it is felt that the prices are beyond permissible limits or unreasonable, then DGCA would intervene.
So my last question: by when can we expect these grounded aircrafts to be back in action, or any measures they have to meet to fly again?
Well, this is going to be a very technical decision, and a lot of inputs and analysis has to go into it, and DGCA is the right authority, is under law, which would keep a close watch on the developments and the various inputs received and all, and based on that they will decide when these planes can fly again.
And India's decision to ban the Boeing 737 MAX was not under pressure, says Jayant Sinha, justifying the DGCA's decision to ban the model almost after every other country amidst the pile-up of the grounded Boeing 737 MAX plane. Listen to that exclusive conversation.
No, that's not true at all, Supriya. We have been monitoring the situation on the 737 MAX right after the Lion Air crash in Indonesia, and even after that we had put in place some additional safety protocols to ensure that we had taken all the necessary steps to ensure passenger safety. So we had done that right after Lion Air, and then of course when the Ethiopian crash happened, the safety regulators or the policymakers in the ministry, all of us have been following what has been happening very closely. We have been in discussions with the airlines, we have been in discussions with the regulators around the world, and of course we have been looking to make sure that we had the right measures in place to be able to ground the aircraft, take whatever necessary steps are required to fix it, and then bring it back up again if we felt that they were safe. So we wanted to make sure that we were doing it in an orderly way. We were doing it in a way that was consistent with what regulators around the world were doing. And so when we were reassured that we had all of that in place, that's when we took the decision. But of course, we have been monitoring it continuously all along.
No, fair point indeed, sir. But before I go any further, what finally made you make the decision? I know you were speaking to regulators, but it was a technical decision so to make in favor of grounding the aircraft. There is still no conclusive data which proves what is particularly wrong with this make of the Boeing aircraft. So what finally made you take a decision? You know, just to be the devil's advocate, are you being preemptive? Are you being knee-jerk? I've got to get every side covered, and which is why I'm asking you a question. What finally made you make the decision?
No, we had to consider all sides of the issue. We had to make sure that it was a measured decision that obviously put safety first, but also ensured that when we took the decision, we knew what to do about these planes. And that's essentially what we needed conviction around. And of course, as that matter became clearer to regulators around the world, they started to obviously put in their restrictions, their decision to ground. And then once we had that confidence ourselves and we knew exactly what to do, that's when we took the decision and we moved forward. And these are, of course, very technical matters. We had to be talking to the technical experts, and it was a decision made by the technical experts, by the safety experts, that prompted this decision.
Okay, Mr. Sinha, one of the things that is being said is that through the course of this exercise, was corporate, were Indian corporates and Indian airline operators adding to pressure to not take the decision, which is why the delay. We had Australia, Indonesia, South America, a lot of countries there, UK take decisions before we did. Just to get the record straight, obviously there was commercial interest involved, but the criticism is that perhaps commercial interest was delaying the decision on this.
Absolutely not. As I said, these are technical matters. We have to have the safety experts make sure they know exactly what is happening, make sure that they have taken the right decision. And so we had to wait for the technical experts to provide us that input. And once that input was clear, it was clear what needed to be done. That's when the policy decision was taken. But this is purely a technical matter. When it comes to safety, the only thing we think about is how to keep passengers safe, to ensure that we have, absolute safety in our skies, and those are the only considerations we have. So I will reject any, statements about any other commercial interest or any of that coming into the picture. This is done purely on a technical basis to ensure that we are optimizing and ensuring the utmost as far as passenger safety is concerned. And every regulator around the world is taking that into account and working through those issues.
Mr. Sinha, because you're not just somebody who's campaigning in Hazaribagh or looks into civil aviation just closely here in India, you also have a lot of global exposure. And, top 10 countries by air passenger travel, barring the US and Japan, have actually banned the 737. Is it any surprise that the US hasn't moved on this, because Boeing is a very prestigious US company, and should at all the Indian regulator now in the foreseeable future look at what the FAA is going to do?
No, you are speculating on a lot of different issues, Supriya, which I don't want to get into. Again, I will reiterate, these are technical safety matters. It is the engineers, it is the safety experts that take these decisions. And once they are clear, once they're sure on these technical matters, we go with their judgment on these issues. So, it really doesn't matter which country is doing what, what the FAA is saying. Once our technical experts and technical experts around the world are clear on the matter, then we move swiftly and decisively, which is exactly what we did.
Mr. Sinha, we can't...